Hi, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a very special podcast. It is with my good friend Stacy. She is a tattoo artist that happened to do my Paper Mario, my Yoshi, my Kirby, and also okay, the Donkey Kong over there. The Pokeball was already there, and she had gone on and decided to do this beautiful masterpiece. I would have had other things done by her, except in 2016 when we were scheduled to do our next one. It was she had decided to go to Florida, so I decided to go. I come back from Kuwait. I was like, "Hey, I want Star Fox," and then she's all like, "I moved to Florida," and I was like, "Okay, that is what you did." And so I had that one, and then my Supernatural one done at another time. But she's the one that will do everybody's Omi tattoos. Yes, you heard that correctly. I have a plan. I'm not sure when. At some point when I'm in Florida, we're all gonna go, and I'm gonna pay for everyone's Omi tattoos. You could by all means tip her more if she does a pretty good job, or subscribe to her OnlyFans down below, link down below. And there is a that's I'm probably going to coincide that weekend with the weekend in which we all go to Universal or Disney, whichever you guys want. At that time, if you have a secret rare alligator Loki, I will go and pay for your ticket to either Universal or Disney, wherever we decide to go that particular day. We might have another thing going on, but yes, the Omi fans. The Omi fans is something that I've debated about doing. I definitely have the audience for it. I don't think I could do that. I think because of where I am now and the types of things that I would like to go and do at some point, I feel like that might be a little I feel like that might be a little counterproductive in what I want to do. Like I said, I just filmed a scene in a feature film that I don't have any speaking lines in, and I do have to go at some point to do another scene, which again, no speaking lines in that one, but I'm slowly but surely trying to break into uh, that film industry, not the adult film industry. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I also have the movie with Darcy Donovan next year, so hopefully I'll have movies coming out every year. Hopefully, I get more than that. We'll see. We shall see. I do really like this director, Eric Jensen, who's working on Looks Can Kill. That is the one today. So I'm very, very excited about that. The Stacy or again, Nastacia, but we all call her Stacy, should be here any second. Very, very excited for that. Let's get to some of the comments real quick before she goes. Hi, all says, "Owe me to the moon." Agreed 100,000%. By all means, ask any questions before she gets here, before we get to the interview. She's got a wild story about uh, what happened to her when she was in this all-girls school, and then, getting into other stuff as well. Buying more. Oh, me get that bread. Pong Man, what's going on? We totally live. Is that a all right? So it's a Spider-Man Black Panther kind of merge. I think I see. Big Gucci Sween, what's going on with the red O's? How's it going? Darth Chaos says hello there, General Darth Chaos. I hope you're doing well. I love those O's as well. 1900 Hustler says, "What up, Randy? Florida in the house. Tampa Clearwater." We do have Stacy that's also here from she's in Florida as well. I'm not sure what part. I don't know if she wants to say or if she'd want me to say. But I'm actually not sure what part. I do still plan to go down there. I was supposed to go down there with the ex-girlfriend, and that kind of fell apart. But I'll definitely be down there again at some point. I know I've said it before. This will be my last winter in New York. I promise you that. The 2022-2023 winter will be my last winter in New York ever. This is the last time I ever want to be cold. What's up, Ethan Youngberg? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing all right. Roger, he has smashed that like button. Absolutely 100%. Big Gucci Sween says, "Omi fans." Yes, agreed. Let me shoot her a message real quick and be like, "Ready whenever you are." Meow, meow, meow. Oh, there was a whenever you are. That was a quote from Pokemon Puzzle League, where I think it was Jesse from Team Rocket is like, "Ready whenever you are," and you go kick her ass. Excuse my language. Sorry about that. Jose Holguin says, "I'm game, bro. Owe me for my first tattoo. Get it. Let's get this bread." Dude, so if you've never had a tattoo, it's like someone pinching you. It's like, ow, ow. But it's constant. It's just constant pinching. It's like, ow, ow. Like you just, you man up and he's like, but no, like, it's my friend Jill really likes the process. She was there with me when I got the Donkey Kong tattoo. Uh, we were both on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It was super fantastic. I forget that one. Let's take a look here though. She do be on though. Iron Maven, what's going on? I believe you are muted. I cannot hear you. Oh, you can't hear me either. Okay. Let me try to mute you and then unmute you. I'll see where that goes. Okay. Then unmute. Is that better? It's not better. All right. Let me kick you. Just rejoin in. I'll kick you and then come back in. And how's that? Still a no. Okay. So go out, X out, and then go back in. If you, or let me message you. If you, it's like the blind leading the blind. X out and go back in. I'm gonna shoot you a message on your Facebook on the messenger. Okay. Now where was I? So your first tattoo. I have Disney annual pass. Oh, very nice. How much? So you don't need the alligator Loki, but don't let that sway you from not getting it at all either. The AF-15 do be mooning though. That is a very scarce comic. A good amount were, I'm going to say at least 1% were taken by bots, and the ones that were taken by bots, most of them were just gone. Most of them are they're banned. They're banned accounts. So consider those burned for the time being. What's up, Only Panda? I hope you're doing well. Randy Dashy. Oh yes, gotta get the Dashy in there. Gotta always 100% get that Dashy. I wonder if she has a. Okay, moving on. So yeah, when my friend Jill was there, she just likes the process of when I was getting the tattoo, just the process of like shaving of the arm, and then like wiping down the area. Microbes can be very tricky, and then just there was one point where I just have the I don't know, it's just weird. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you still. Are you on? Do you have AirPods? AirPods that go in your ear, or like yeah. Can you get those? No. Okay. All right, we're gonna try. Let me try to send you another link here at some point. Let me try to invite, copy to clipboard. How do I? All right, private chat. I'm gonna put that in there in the private chat. Oh, maybe.
I can. Okay, I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Me?
Yes, finally.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicole.
Huzzah.
Nichols came through with headphones. I have no idea where she's got them from. Oh yeah.
Amazing. So
Awesome.
so what's your background? Is it just like a giant black sheet or a black?
Yeah, it's just like a black sheet. I just have like a little photography thing set up in my house. Yeah.
That makes sense. That gotta do it. We'll definitely get into the photography aspect of it. So I gave people a little bit of background on you, on the just tattoo artist, did my bunch of my tattoos. I don't know if I told you this, but I kind of volunteered you, which I'll totally pay for, obviously. We're into this thing called OMI. It's like this really rad cryptocurrency that's like,
Okay.
and we're doing a I'm going to pay for everyone's OMI tattoos. And I was like, my friend Stacey that has done all of these for me, she'll do them. So I don't know when that'll be, probably some point next year. I have delayed moving down to Florida until next year as well. That'll probably be,
Okay.
I know. But I was supposed to do this year, but me and the girlfriend kind of broke up. So now that's on hold for a little while. I know, it's rough. It's rough. So I know we have about an hour or maybe a little less now. Tell us about, like, take us back to the beginning. Take us back to baby Stas years and what led you to go into that Bethel School Bethel School Academy?
Bethel, yeah.
Yeah. What led you there and the experiences like, and just go. Story time with Stas.
Cool. Okay. That's cool. So yeah, basically the school that I went to, Bethel, it's like a bad kids school. And so basically since I was younger, kind of typical grew up a single mom. Dad wasn't there, that type of stuff. And I got in a lot of trouble when I was younger, stealing, fighting, drinking, all at like a really young age. And I grew up in like the Chicago suburbs, so I was like not in the best area, not in the worst, but me and my mom did not get along. Didn't get along.
Yeah.
She had like a lot of mental health issues that she never dealt with, some substance abuse problems. So we just never really got along, and it ended up leading to us like physically fighting a lot when I'm like 11, 12 years
Oh,
old.
jeez.
Yeah, no, like all of this was like when I was like 10, 11, 12. I was a hard kid to deal with. She was a hard parent to deal with, and it was just constant clashing.
Yeah.
So by the time I was 12, uh, it was just getting worse between me and her. I stopped. I would still go to school for the most part, but I'd skip a lot of classes. I'd go and hang out like in neighborhoods with my friends who were older, people that were older than them. So it was just
Damn.
yeah, I was doing shit little kids shouldn't do, and at like 11, 12.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I was a rough kid.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where if I wasn't like home by a certain time, my mom was basically like, can I swear in here? Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
by all means, go do. I mean,
Oh, good,
yeah.
good. Yeah, no, basically, she would just tell me to fuck off by a certain point. And yeah, and so it kind of got to a point where she just couldn't really handle me anymore, and I couldn't handle her. Uh, we got a really bad fight once, physical. I knocked her front tooth out. She still has a fake tooth because of it.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm bragging or anything. That's shitty. We're both shitty people. But it got to a point where I was like, as a 12-year-old, I was like, this is not a safe environment for me. I'm not gonna get my shit together. I had to be an adult at a very young age.
Right.
And I went to the police station, the local police station, and was like, I want to be put up for adoption. I don't want her as my mom. What can I do? Of course, the cops are like, you're a fucking 12-year-old kid.
Wow.
Like, we're not helping you. So they called my mom, and basically we didn't have like really like any money or anything. So she called my aunt, who was like had money.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how she could afford it. But basically one day I was hanging out with my friends. I think we drank some like Kool-Aid and vodka, some dumb shit that like my friend.
Ghetto.
Oh, I know. My best friend, I was 12. I think she was 13 or 14. And then she had a sister who was 16 or 17. And the sister's friends would just like, they thought it was funny and would give us a bunch of alcohol while we're like little. Yeah. So I come home after being a bit of a shithead, probably drinking, probably stealing. I loved stealing at that age. I go to sleep, and all of a sudden I wake up. My entire room was just like super bright, every light on, and I see two strangers, a guy and a girl, standing next to my bed. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I don't even know if I really went into detail how they get kids transported. But anyways.
Oh yeah, go, like, by all means, go and tell that story.
So I wake up. There's these two strangers, a girl and a guy. They're in like not suits, but they're like dressed fancy enough where I'm like, all right, I don't think they're trying to rob me. I don't understand. And they told me, get your toothbrush, a pair of shoes, and get ready. We're leaving. And I'm like, the fuck we are? I don't know you. What's happening? They're like, you're not allowed to ask questions. Get ready. And I'm like, I know, like, I don't know you. So basically, I like could see outside of my bedroom. I could see my mom and my aunt. So I'm like, oh fuck. Like, this is, they know what's happening. And no one would tell me what was going on. I just was told I have to go with these people. I kind of refused, and basically, like, they did get a little, like, strong, you know, kind of like, you have to go, and forcefully were trying to leave me. They're like, the cops might have been there, actually. It's been such a long time. I don't remember if the cops were there or they threatened that the cops would arrest me if I didn't come with them. Yeah. So there, I got like a couple things. I was like, hey, I just want to use the bathroom first. They wouldn't let me go by myself because, yeah. I also, like, whatever, obviously a really fucked up kid. Like, I did swallow, like, a bottle of pills at, like, 10 or 11 years old. Like, I was, you know, a sad kid from a very young age. So, like, whatever.
Yeah. So well, is that, like, for like, the high or for, like, I want to end it all type of deal?
Oh, yeah, it's a...
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
And so they wouldn't let me do anything by myself. Anyway, so we got in a car. It's like 2 a.m. Oh. So it's pitch black out. We get in a car. They won't tell me what's happening. The girl's trying to be cool. She's like, oh, everything's going to be okay. You'll be fine. The other guy is just telling me, like, stop asking questions. We get to an airport. We get on a plane. We go to another airport. We had, like, a layover, whatever. And then the second plane we land, we're in Petal, Mississippi. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why am I in Petal, Mississippi? And we pull up. We're driving probably 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and it's just road. No houses, no stores, just one shitty little building in the middle of nowhere, and it says Bethel Baptist Girls Academy.
I would have felt like I was in Get Out. I'd be like, oh man, I'm never escaping from this place.
Yeah, I was like, I have no idea what this is. In my head, I was kind of like, maybe it's like a summer camp type of thing, you know, like I was a little bit more hopeful than I should have been. I was like, you know, this might be fun. Maybe this is, maybe this is an orphanage. Maybe I'm getting put up for adoption. You know, maybe they're actually taking me away from her, which was what I wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we get there, and the second I get in, the owner's there. It's some big fat dude, Bubba Fountain, and he was like, why are you smiling? Instantly, the second I get in.
Oh, fuck.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, was I 13? I think actually I just turned 13 when I actually got sent away. And yeah, and so I'm like 13, I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, stop laughing, stop talking. And they basically got me in, and it was a Baptist Girls Academy. Yeah. So it's like a very highly religious military school for troubled youth. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so it ended up being a nightmare. It was, I got, it's my cat, sorry.
Kitty! Which one's that? Is that?
That's the tiny baby.
Oh, oh, happy kitty. You're famous. It's awesome.
All right. She's the sweetest. I love her.
Oh, how's Oslo doing?
She's good. She's off hiding somewhere.
Cool. All right, so you get there, and it's just like your world's kind of turned upside down because you got people already saying like, "Why are you smiling?" Like, so clearly not going to be fun. And it's not just for a certain amount of time. It was supposed to be for, how long was it supposed to be for?
There is no certain amount of time. It's however long they want you to be there before they think before your parents want to take you out.
Gotcha.
So there was girls in there at like 15 years old who turned 18 there and had to go out on their own. Their parents left them.
Yeah.
You know, it was super sad and super hard to see. Like a lot of people aged out and they couldn't afford to stay there. They just had to leave.
Do you ever see the movie Sucker Punch?
I did.
That kind of reminds me of that, where they're kind of trapped there and they can't really leave. And so what was there like were you like leading like a revolution in there? Were you a part of it, or you just happened to be one of the girls? Like what happened that got the place closed for a little while?
So how to explain it? So when I got there, I was the youngest person there. Everyone there is 16 to 17 years old, averagely. Some are younger, but that's the average age. I just turned 13. So there ended up being one girl younger than me, but it was a lot for someone at like 13 years old. But I got there and I was super shy. I was super reserved. I had no idea what was going on. And so I was definitely more shy, more reserved. I didn't really I don't know, stick out, more than anybody else. But when it got shut down, the first like 2 months before it got shut down, there was like a couple new girls that came in, started a bunch of shit. One girl was, said she was Wiccan, she was a Satanist. And when you're younger, you don't really know what those words mean. I don't even think she did. And so a lot of us were like, whoa, like what is going on with this girl, especially in a religious school like that.
Yeah, how'd they deal with that?
There's one girl who to this day, I still think she faked all of this to get out, but there was a girl who was literally crazy. Like, she would scream every single night. This girl, Heather, just screamed. She didn't talk at all. She just screamed at night. Like, a lot of weird shit went on. One girl apparently was trying to drown herself. There was like a little pool thing. She tried to drown herself. It was crazy. And towards the end of it, we had a lot more like characters come in, and the owner just didn't know how to handle it. He got like a little extra aggressive with everyone. He flipped tables, while there's 8 girls sitting there. What ended up closing it down was we actually had she was like a helper they hired, because everyone that worked there was related to, it was all a family.
Oh.
So, okay. So, I'm scatterbrained. I'm trying here.
It's okay. That makes it even more creepier.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So there's a boys' school and a girls' school. And they've been open for I'm pretty sure since the early 90s, maybe the 80s for the boys' school. But the guy was Bubba Fountain Sr. He ran the boys' school, and his son, Junior, ran the girls' school. But all the helpers were his wife, his kids. They were all helpers. So it was basically the only person that works there that wasn't related was the cook. And then there was one security lady at night that would just sit in the halls, make sure no one did anything. And they end up hiring a assistant teacher or something like that. And she saw everything go on. And she's the one who reported everything. And she's the one who got Child Protective Services to come out and look at everything.
Yeah.
when that happened, they interviewed every single girl. And I think at the time, there was probably between 45, 52 girls there. And they interviewed each one of us individually, kind of like asking our opinions, what have we seen, what have we heard type of things. And based on a lot of people's stories and accusations, it got shut down.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was pretty nuts. Yeah, there's some allegations I heard and stories that I don't know if I 100% know that they're true, but do I think they should have got that shut down? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole thing. There's so many little like stories and little details about the place, but you're putting a lot of pressure on a lot of young kids to be way more mature.
Yeah.
And act a way that they shouldn't be acting at that age.
So the school or like the sleeping arrangements, was it like, I don't know if you saw Queen's Gambit, where she's like a young girl and she's in the.
Yeah.
Is that what it was like?
Yeah, so it was basically rooms with 2 bunk beds, so 4 girls in 1 room. I'm trying to remember Queen's Gambit how they had it, but it's basically like one small room with 4 girls in it. But when you first get there, you're on orientation. With orientation, you're in one big room with all the new girls. With that, you're not allowed to talk or look up without permission.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like the military. It's like Jesus.
Yeah, so when you get there, you go through orientation. You can't talk to anybody except the leaders. You have to look down at all times. When we walk, you'd have to hold on to the belt loop of the girl in front of you and walk in a line. You get no mail privileges, no phone calls, and that's usually about 2 to 3 months.
Oh man, so you drop off the face of the earth for like several weeks, like couple months.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a couple of my friends from back then on Facebook, 2 of them, and they were like, we had no fucking clue. Like, nobody knew what happened to you. Because I couldn't contact anyone. I didn't have anyone's address because I'm 12. I don't remember people's address. So yeah, I just vanished.
Damn.
People had no idea what happened to me. They thought I went to juvie or something like that. Like, I just disappeared out of nowhere, and it's what it felt like when I got out of those places. Like, I felt like I was just in a dream for years. I'm like, even now and then still, I'm kind of like, did that place really exist? Like, it's such a weird concept to have gone through that at such a young age that it's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem real sometimes.
How long were you there before they got shut down?
So I was at that one because I actually got sent to a second one.
Okay.
I was at that one for, I think, I was there for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 2 years. I would have been there definitely would have been there longer because I actually ran away at one point and I got in a bunch of trouble for that. I had to start orientation all the shit over.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was really rough. And so when that place got shut down, they brought all of us girls to juvie, like an actual juvie, and made us stay there until our parents picked us up. When I like got in touch with my mom, and she got me a plane back because I was living in Illinois.
Yeah.
I was there for about a day and a half, and then she was like, "Oh, you're not staying. You're going to a different school now." So I got sent to New Creations in Richmond, Indiana, which is just as religion based. They're more Lutheran. First one was Baptist. This one's Lutheran. Just as religious based, but they were not as cruel.
Okay.
Like, in comparison, it was vacation. Like everyone in the second school, they were like, how are you so okay right now? I'm like, this ain't Bethel. Like, get the fuck out. You guys are pussies if you think this is tough. Like, this is nothing. But yeah. So it was a weird experience. I was the second one I was in for about a year until my mom, for some reason, took me out, and yeah, I moved back in with her, and that was a terrible idea. That didn't last long. Yeah.
Well, you were what, 16 at the time when you moved back in?
So.
Because you were at two years at one place, and then the year.
I was 16, but instead of bringing me back to Illinois, my mom met some dude on the internet and who lived in Long Island, New York, and we moved to Long Island, New York.
So that's how you came.
Yeah. That's how you know me. Yep, is because my mom met some random fucking dude on the internet and decided to take me out of the Christian school and bring me to Long Island.
Damn. So that was, and what school did you go to when you were in Long Island?
Long Beach.
Did you? Okay, gotcha.
I went there for about a year, and then I dropped out.
Gotcha. And when you ran away that first time, you were like 14, 15, and how'd you get caught? Like what was there a plan, or just like, I'm just gonna run and see what happens?
Oh, running away from the first school?
Yeah.
So I made friends with this girl named Shelby. She was very similar to me, one of the younger girls. We actually looked weirdly alike, like sisters. Like, we looked very alike, which kind of worked out at a certain point. But me and her were both kind of like, fuck this. Like, this sucks. Neither of us really had anything back home that we cared about. So we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try this. On Saturdays, we were allowed to go. We all had to go into the cafeteria, go watch a movie, and it's usually some like stupid religious-based movie, like Passion of the Christ or some shit. And so everyone gets in line to go into the cafeteria to watch this movie. Me and her hide underneath the bunk beds. Everyone leaves, and then we had windows, but they had that there's like a thin sheet of metal over it. Basically, It was just thin enough that I was able to kick it out.
Nice.
Which there's a point where I was like, I'm not getting through this shit. We're fucked because they're going to know, you know. But I was able to kick through it. We both bailed. We ran out. We're running through the woods for hours and hours. And it's dark. We're in the middle of nowhere. And we end up, the funniest part about it is we end up running in a complete circle.
No.
So we get to some house. We're like, you know, we're kids. We're scared at a certain point. And we stopped at a house and we're like, hey, you know, we're like, we just moved here. We're sisters, which worked out because we actually looked like sisters. And we're like, hey, we just moved over here and, you know, we're lost. Our parents are at that gas station, blah, blah, blah. Can you take us to the gas station? They're like, cool, sure, no problem. Come on in, hang out, and we'll just call you a cab over there or something like that. They didn't call the cop or a cab. They called the cops, obviously. They did feed us spaghetti, though, which was, we should have known these strangers are not going to call us a cab if they're just having us sit there, eat spaghetti in our matching uniforms also. And,
oh, yeah, you didn't have clothes, right? You had to wear that.
We wore cargo shorts and just like a plain blue or black t-shirt. And yeah, so the cops came. They were like, oh, guess what? You are the closest house to the school. You went in a complete circle. We got caught. We went back. We got a lot of trouble. One of the reasons, like one of the many things on the list of why the school got shut down was because of us, because there was a lake right by the school, like a little, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a human-made lake. But it was super gross. Apparently, like it like I don't know the correct term for it, but basically, like, the lake was disgusting. It was not sanitary at all. Like, apparently, it's like a shit lake, like actual shit in it. Like,
Ew.
yeah, like it was fucking gross, and they made us jump in there. I know, yeah, fair. They made us jump in this disgusting lake and then go in the sand and the ground and shit right next to it and roll around. So we had to
Why?
come back as punishment. That was their
Oh
fucked
my
up way of punishing us.
Jesus.
So it's there's a bunch of little things like that happen where everyone's like, oh, this isn't okay. You know,
Yeah.
this is cruel and unusual. We were doing, on average, like 4 hours of exercise a day. Anytime we got in trouble, we'd have to do wall sits for like an hour, 2 hours. Like, yeah, like, you know how that is. Like,
I get tired after 30 seconds. Jesus.
dude, yeah, like it was rough. But
No wonder your legs are so jacked.
fair. Yeah, yeah, the whole thing sucked, whatever. But
Gee. Okay,
what are you gonna do?
my God, that is wild. And did they ever open up again after that?
Yeah, so they did open back up. I feel like pretty soon after. I looked it up a couple of years ago. I try not to I get too invested anytime I look into it. I just get mad, you know. I'm just like, what the fuck was this shit? And yeah, and so they did open back up, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, they are completely closed down now. The boys' school was even worse. Like, the boys' school was fucked up, and yeah, so like the girls' school is better, but definitely not great still.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. All right, so that brings you back to, you said you were 16, then you moved to Long Island, and said you dropped out. Is there any, when you did that, did you go to work, or just like, I'm just gonna be a delinquent for a couple of years and then I'll go to work? Because you were still like, you were still 16, 17, right?
Yeah. I just turned 16 when I moved to Long Beach. And I was in school for, yeah, probably I'd say about a year before I dropped out. But I was working as soon as I turned 16, and I moved there, my mom was like, you have to get a job. If you're going to live in my house, you need to get a job. So I worked like delis, you know, Long Island. I worked in delis, Baskin Robbins, shit like that. Working full time once I got to like 17. And so I dropped out of school, and because I was flunking because I wasn't going. I was just being a shithead with my friend. And I was like, fuck this. You know, I need to support myself. So I started working at Max Bialystock Deli in Long Beach, and during the whole morning, and then I'd go to Harriet Eisman School at night. And
Okay, and that was just to get
graduated for there.
Okay, so that was to get the GED.
I actually got a real high school diploma. It's like one of those, I don't know what they're called, but it's an actual high school diploma. It's just for like shitty kids school.
Yeah, no, that's cool that you got that. So then you got into tattooing. Like, had you always been into art? I think I remember you posting a picture when you were younger and you were just drawing something anyway.
Yeah, no, I've always been a very artsy kid. I was like I said, even though I was a bad kid, I was really shy when I was younger. Like, it really took up until not too long ago that I kind of just, I'm not like that anymore. But I was a very, very shy kid. And so, I don't know, I was a weird kid that just drew a lot.
Yeah.
Got in trouble. I don't know.
What's your favorite type of art to draw?
Ooh. I like portraits.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like,
I don't really tattoo portraits, but I love drawing portraits in like most mediums.
so, like, of yourself? Of
Anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have,
like
have you seen that TikTok account where this guy, he like draws people on like the subway and then hands it to them?
yeah, that shit is so cool.
Yeah, that's really fun. So you got that. You were in Long Island, I think, for almost like, yeah, it was like over like 10 years, right? Before you moved to Florida. And then
Yeah.
you moved in 2016. I remember because I wanted you to do my Star Fox, and I come back from Kuwait and it was like, hey, I'm in Florida. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So
It was
we
26.
yeah. So when did you? I imagine you're kind of around people that just take their clothes off a lot just because, hey, I'm going to tattoo my breast. I'm going to tattoo. Like, have you ever tattooed someone's peen?
I have not. No, I haven't. I get asked that a lot, but people, I've had like two serious people ask me about getting it. I'm like, cool, we could do it, but it's going to be a lot more expensive than you probably expect. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to deal with you and all that, we're looking at like 500 minimum, and most people are not serious. So.
Would they have to go and get hard for you to do that?
Depends on where you do it.
That's true. Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's true. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen someone tattooed down there?
Yeah.
How does it look?
Excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
I've seen initials. My friend had like a lollipop like sticker thing. It was
It's
pretty cool.
amazing. That's all. So when did you get into OnlyFans?
Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
1 second.
Sure. I know this sounds like a crazy movie, right, guys? Scene. You guys are so great. I forget where I was before it.
Pinnacle. Can you bring me some more water? Cool. Alright, I'm back.
You got a fan in here. Randy Chavez saying, ended up in a foster home, saying you're my twin, girls' school. So yeah, the OnlyFans. When did you get into that?
Thank you. So I'm having Nicole give me more water. I have like a little thing in my throat.
It's all good.
I got not that long ago. Like I only got into OnlyFans like months ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like not long ago.
So is it something that's like just to like the ends justify the means? Like, hey, I can help. I don't know, like pay rent with it, or are your ambitions a bit greater? Like, I want to be a star, and I want to go and make like $10,000 a month and just ball out.
Basically the second one. So, like I said, I was a really fucked up kid, and I've always had like kind of a weird view on everything. Like at like 16, I was kind of like, I would do porn. Like to me, I was just like,
Yeah.
people were like, that's a fucking weird thing to say, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're fucking some random fucking dude for free. I don't know. That's okay, cool, I guess. But I never did it. I always said I would. You know, it's just I don't care. I don't have parents or kids to fucking disappoint. You know, so
Yeah. Same. So has your I don't know, I think you said you had that. Like, I am a big proponent of LSD, and I use that to make pretty much all my financial decisions. Has worked out pretty good so far. Has Is this, like, not to quote like Lady Gaga, is this something like you were born this way, or after experimentation with like a bunch of alcohol and maybe drugs at a younger age that it kind of evolved?
uh, oh, um, I think I was always kind of this way, but I I did a lot of drugs and alcohol in my life, so I feel like that kind of helped me just not give a fuck what people thought about me. You know, people already thought I was a scumbag at such a young age when I really wasn't.
Yeah.
By the time I was in my early 20s, I was a scumbag, and so now I'm like, fuck it. I'm living my best life. Like I'm sober now completely. Like I don't drink anything.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Good
yeah,
for
I
you.
don't. Thank you. I don't do any drugs, anything. Um, so I
How
mean,
long have you been sober for?
people, um, only a couple months. So it's a newer thing, and it's just I don't really care really much about drinking, or anything. I haven't done drugs since like actually the way that I used to since I moved to Florida. I moved to Florida to get clean, basically.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
So thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So at the end of the day, people have their opinions of me. They'll always have the same opinions of me. So I'm not going to make everyone happy. That's what I had to realize. Like, if I was being a shithead and some people go like, oh, she's so cool, look at her, being all crazy. The other people are going to be like, fuck this girl. And it's going to be vice versa. I'm never going to make everyone happy. So I'm just going to make myself happy.
Yeah.
And if fucking showing my butthole on the internet makes me happy, I'm going to fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. Like,
I love you so much.
well,
So,
whatever.
what is happiness to you?
Just not stressing over everything. I'm always stressed. I'm always worried about everything. So it's just not being super stressed out. It's just kind of enjoying my life. You
Yeah.
know, right now I do OnlyFans. I tattoo. I'm doing some thrifting stuff on the side. Like doing hot, I'm doing hobbies where I make money. Stuff
Yeah.
that I enjoy. I love doing OnlyFans. I think it's fun as hell. I think it's been great for my self esteem also. And I don't know. It's fun. Why
Yeah,
not?
you seem like you're having a great time. You seem like you're having a lot of fun.
It is. It's fun, and I have a thank you. I have my two people that work with me in my videos, I guess. One of them is my best friend, Nicole, the one who keeps feeding me water. Uh, so it's fun. It's stupid. We're laughing most of the time. It's just like, it's fun. It's stuff we would be
Yeah.
doing anyways, but we make money doing it. It's why not,
Yeah.
And that's how I view everything I do in my life is it's fun. I'm not hurting anyone. No one can really be mad. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm pretty much the most put together I've ever been. And people might not like what I do, but I don't care.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Is you got a lip I don't know what's called plumper. You got a lip thing recently. Was that specifically for OnlyFans, or is that just, you know what, I've always wanted this and it just happened to coincide with OnlyFans?
Um, yeah, it's just something I've always. I last year I started getting like lip fillers. I got Botox a little bit. Like I'm 32. Like
You look
most of
great.
the girls at OnlyFans, thank you, are like fucking 22. And I mean, I don't care about that. I like the way I look. But it's just I've always also been into plastic surgery. It's the same thing since I was in a super young age. Like it's fascinating to me. I
Yeah.
love body modification. And to me, tattoos, piercings, and plastic surgery and stuff like that, it's all the same thing to me. I don't
Yeah.
see why one's different from the other. People get fake tits all the time. nobody cares. People get face tattoos that are like, whoa, criminal. And I'm like, ah, you're probably right. But most of us are. But
That's
so
a good
yeah,
point.
yeah. So I'm just like in the beginning of my plastic surgery stuff. I'm probably getting my tits done soon. Uh, Kind of going
What
from there.
What are you gonna get? Because you already are pretty big chested. Are you gonna go like crazy? Like what are you? How big are you going?
Not super big. So like you know me in person. So you know I'm not a tiny girl. Like,
No,
you know, I got like big shoulder. Yeah. I
you're
got
well, yeah, you're thick. Yeah,
yeah, like I'm 5'6", like 160 pounds. Like I'm a sturdy girl, and I come she's laughing. I'm German. I'm German Native American. It's
yeah,
sturdy girls, I guess. And so it's like for me, I'm 36 double D. That sounds big, but like on my body type, it's really not.
proportion.
You
Yeah,
know. So I'm kind of like I just want to go a little bit bigger. I don't want to be 5 years from now. I start getting older and my tits start sagging. I don't want to not
yeah.
like myself at some point. So I'd rather just be, get everything done before I have to,
Take that preventative
worry about it.
measure.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
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 There's I've had this request a couple of times. Like I said, we're into this crypto called Omi, and I spent a little more money than I would like to admit on it, and it worked out really well last year. I had achieved a new level of wealth, and then in like January, February, when like Russia went to war with Ukraine and like the crypto bear market, like lost a lot of money. I mean, I didn't lose it in general because I never sold, but it just have to wait like another year or two for it to go back up. So my over 8,000 subscribers on here and over 12,000 followers on Twitter have been asking me to get an OnlyFans, and I've been very much thinking about it, but because every now and then I'll get some really cool offers for like people to come on my podcast. Like it was in the last couple months, I've had a couple of CEOs. One is a CEO of VV's, like a multi-billion-dollar company. I've had Greg Schultz, who's Biden's campaign manager, and I've just had a couple of high-level people that I feel like maybe might not say yes to me when I ask them to go on the podcast if they found out that I did an OnlyFans. Um, what are some of the pros and cons that you've experienced so far?
Uh, I, I don't know. I'm trying to think through pros like money.
Mhm.
Money's always cool. Um, it definitely helped. Definitely, like, I'm a confident person. Oh, I'm confident in myself, but it
Yeah.
definitely, like, just made me a little bit more confident. Think, hell yeah, and stuff like that. It just, I don't know, like, altogether, it's just a fun experience. Oh, there's Gray Cat. Uh, so there's a lot of pros to it. Like, it's just, and it's fun. Like, it's opening up so many other ventures. Like now I'm getting into some other sites that are a little bit spicier.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like what? Like a fetish, like kink site? Like
Um, I'm on a lot of stuff now. So I'm technically, I'm still in the process of like doing like actual just porn, like porn, Pornhub. Like I already have an account there. Uh,
nice.
there's there's like this website called Sniffer, and you basically sell and buy used like underwear and socks and things like that. Like all this, it's so crazy to me. The whole sex industry is so funny to me. Like
Yeah.
because in no king, like I'm not like king shaming anyone. It's to me, it's like it's wild. Some people are just really into some stuff and cool. That's so cool for them. You know, I've been making money doing this like role playing text thing with this guy and just some random shit. But I'm like, I'm making money and I'm like, it's fun. I don't know. It's silly, but it's fun. But
That's
the
crazy.
only, and cons, like,
None yet.
not really. The only con really is like, I don't know if everyone that signs up to and subscribes to OnlyFans, like, I don't know if they realize whatever name that they put, I can see. And so I have had a couple people that I'm like, didn't expect you. You know what I mean? Like, a couple people, like old bosses, things like that. And I'm like, I mean, I don't care. Cool. Like, all right, I appreciate it. You know, you want to, it's a picture. It's like, that's cool. Like, it's
Yeah.
just sometimes it's a little like, I've had like tattoo customers, and that's my only thing. So my only real con is I don't want to feel obligated to have a conversation with someone about it. I don't want someone coming to the shop to get tattooed and start talking to me about this.
Mm.
Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not embarrassed or ashamed or anything that I do this, but there is proper time. And while I'm tattooing you, I'm not talking about this.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's the only cons. I feel like eventually that's gonna run into each other a little bit, but if it does, I'll deal with that then, I guess.
Okay, so the people that are here watching that are going to get the Omi tattoos at some point, do not talk about OnlyFans while you're getting tattooed. That's the only one rule.
Yeah,
And then
pretty
we'll go
much.
to Universal or Disney afterwards.
Hell yeah.
So okay, so I remember my ex-fiance used to have I don't know if it was called sniffer, but she would have clients that would tell her to, there was a thing about like used panties. Okay, cool. But so I don't have a sense of smell, but there were people that would ask her to wear like ask for her panties that like after she was sweating for like 8 hours like on stage or where she was just doing like grinding on other people's meat. And it's like I understand if she like went to the gym or something, but those couldn't have smelled good. Like I'm almost positive they yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's people like I'm super new to that one. Like, that's a very new site that I'm on. Um but I learned a lot of this from TikTok, believe it or not. Like, there's a lot of TikTok accounts of girls just being like, this is what I do on OnlyFans, this is what I do on Snip, like all these things. And like, it's helpful. Like, there's a lot of women supporting other women, being like, you want to fucking show your butthole on the internet? I'll show you how. You know, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's nice. But one girl, I can't remember her TikTok, but she'd like say like, there's guys that want like period panties, like, yeah, like, yeah, like
Yeah.
I
I,
don't
I've
know.
I've gone deep down the rabbit hole with some of that stuff. There, I had to stop where like, and it wasn't like for pleasure. It was just like I wonder what other stuff there was out there. And there's this thing called crushing. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
The cake thing? No.
No, it's where you film yourself in like high heels or like stilettos or whatever, and you crush bugs, and that gets certain people off. And I was like, ew. And apparently it goes deeper than that, where you actually crush like small animals. I don't know how people do that, but
Oof, I remember that video from like 10 years ago. Ugh, I can't even talk about it. You know, I'm a cat
okay,
lady. There's shit that, like, yeah, you want to make me
okay.
mad?
So what's the
Cats.
cake thing about? We'll move on to the cake thing. What's the?
Uh, Cake farts.
Oh, that one. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. That was great.
Yeah, like, I was like, oh, of course, you know cake farts. Everyone
Yeah.
knows cake farts. Apparently she knows. Um, yeah, like that's a whole thing I see on the internet. Crushing is what I thought you were talking about. There's just accounts of people that literally just sit on cake.
Yeah, and then they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much for everyone, I guess. There's a website. It's like the MySpace for BDSM, I guess.
Mhm.
It's called FetLife. I've
Oh
been
yeah.
on it. Yeah, I've been on it since I was like 21. Um, it's just like a nice and weird little community. But I always like kind of thought I was like, oh, I'm so edgy. I'm into all this weird stuff. And then I get on that side and I'm like, bro, I'm vanilla as fuck compared to these people. Like, holy shit. I'm like, good for you though. Like, that's what you like. Fucking do it. But some of it's a little bit too much for me. But
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a. I mean, I'd like to think I'm relatively a little spicy with certain things. And like, and this is gonna sound like some of my fans might be like, Chavez, I didn't know this about you. Like, there's something almost like vampire-ish about like knife play and just a little bit of like in a sexy way, not like a gonna kill myself, but like a little cutting. And it's, I don't know what, but there and I feel like that's like about as like I don't want to say crazy as about as spicy or kinky that I get. Like bondage and stuff is cool, but there was this one girl that I dated that liked dirty fingernails. Like she wouldn't like she liked it when I didn't clean my fingernails, and then she would bite it and eat it. I was like,
I don't like
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, I was like, this is like I'm not gonna be sticking my fingers in you if that's what. Yeah, what did not turn me on at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here for that. That's weird.
Okay, so before you go, I know you got to bounce. And anyone that subscribes to Stacey's OnlyFans, link down below. I'll do a raffle, and if you show me a screenshot that you subscribe to her, when we get transfers back on the VV app, I'll transfer you a common alligator Loki. So the things that we do is called VV. We buy NFTs, but they're NFTs of like major IP, like alligator Loki, or like Marvel stuff and Star Wars. Pretty nerdy, but happens to be my thing. So anyone that does that down below, you'll be in the running to get a free alligator Loki. Just send me a screenshot, and then we'll go from there.
Oh yeah.
Anything you wanted to say before you bounce?
No, not anything too specific. I said a lot. Honestly.
That's
yeah.
true. We had a.
I know.
This is so much fun.
I'm not the most open person about like my past and stuff, so it's nice. It's cool. Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Appreciate you opening out and give us. I knew this was going to be a good wild story with at least just with the Bethel schoolgirl, and then going to OnlyFans on top of that. Like you're just an interesting person, and you're rad and you're awesome, and I can't wait to see you again. I don't know when it's going to be. I might do something in the winter where I just go down there for a visit.
Are you going to Dean's wedding?
I don't think so. I don't think I was invited. When is that?
In October.
Is it in Long Island?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I could crash. I imagine he'll be fine.
You could be my +1. We got.
All right.
It's fine.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll get him. You bring me. I'll cover the gift. We'll get him something great.
Right.
Wait. October what?
29th.
All right. Perfect. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. Dean wedding, and we shall. All right. Cool beans. Just let me know what days you get in and stuff, and we'll coordinate and all that jazz. So, thanks, Real Talk. I'm sure she appreciates that as well. So I'll just hang back for like 30 seconds after I end the broadcast just to talk real quick. And everyone, thank you for joining. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. And I will see you all later.